Where last we left our coterie, our kindred, they had dealt with one less supernatural threat and settled into something resembling normalcy. However, the social dangers of the ship were coming to a head. Different forces within the ship were vying for social control. Father Merdoc, the German priest, has his following. Our vampires are attempting to consolidate themselves. Dr. Merrymont is poking his nose in everyone's business who's potentially harmed in the skirmish against the rodents. Mary was causing a bit of unintentional trouble by embracing several gentlemen as ghouls. Claudio seemed to have been souring against our coterie, except then it turned out he was merely setting up backup plans in case they turned on him. All the while, the ship slowly rocks and rocks and surges across the seas. By the captain's best estimations, if the winds hold up, you will be in port in about 3, maybe 4 weeks. The journey is more than half over. Uh, yes, over half over. But as the ship slowly plods along, moving up into the Caribbean, supplies are running not low, but the good quality is running out. And free of good food and pressing danger, people might be getting, well, ideas. Fears no longer holding them together, and, well, hot, thin broth and hard biscuits are not very good for morale when they're all you have to eat, besides whatever the local vampires rip out of the ocean. With that being said, we return to our coterie. And I have one quick question that I probably should have checked last week's VOD on. Uh, I didn't. We didn't end last session by moving time forward, right?
No, we just
No.
finished eating.
Right. Okay, cool. So you just finished your round of hunting.
Yeah, we accounted for the hunting of the week.
Right. So we are on week 6 of the transatlantic. Actually, I think it's week 7 of the transatlantic journey. Yes. Right, I turn it over to you all. Is there anything you would like to be doing as we return? Actually, no. I should play this card. How closely have you all been paying attention to the health of the crew and the passengers on board? I know those of you who have been hunting with great regularity have been keeping stock of, well, everyone.
Mostly just my own herd. Being a bit distracted the last, I don't know, few days since that incident.
I'm assuming most of you have only been checking in on those you personally bit.
Basically, apart from just roaming around, just
Just
mainly keeping.
whatever I noticed during mass, but not paying
Yeah.
hugely close attention to everyone.
Well, during mass, I'll do this much for free. This portion of the ship, fit and healthy. Not a pale face or a bit of sallowness among them.
Interesting.
Maybe lost a couple pounds, but that's the worst of it. Benedict and Christoph, you have both been feeding on the general passenger population, besides the itinerant flock of Father Merdoc. Yes.
Yes.
The last time Benedict fed was from his herd,
Mm-hmm. Well, both
but
of
yeah,
you.
aside from that,
Go ahead.
he has been feeding on the general public.
Mm-hmm. Keruta, you've been mostly surviving off of fish and transmuted pig blood, yeah?
Yes.
Huh. Christoph and Benedict, you are both allowed to give me a wits plus. Let's call it medicine. That's one success for Christoph. And that's one success for Benedict. So, you noticed this early in the week and managed to avoid them. But it started with a couple of coughs, a bit of sniffles here and there. Someone got a cold, staying up too late, or being caught in the rain during the day. But it quickly gets out of hand in the 4-passenger containment. I have marked 2 populations of humans. Every one of those populations are currently sick. It spread
Oh shit!
fast, and well, it's been confided to one of the passenger containers in that area, one of the bunks. But about 20 of your passengers have come down with something similar to the flu. Fevers, chills, heavy coughing, and they're finding it hard to keep down what rations they're being given.
That's bad news for the boys.
Mm-hmm. It seems limited to them for right now. But it's still a thing that you've noted. It's a thing that everyone's noted. Dr. Marymont has been busy the last couple of days with this, though he is still on his. Well, whenever he has a spare moment, you are warned by Claudio and Francois that he's knocking on your doors, Christoph and Benedict, trying to talk to you, trying to see if this may have stemmed from you. Luckily, though, the last few evenings he's been seemingly too tired to get out from his workshop to bother you.
DM, would Kim have heard anything about this? Or this
Mm,
related conversation with people being sick in Murdoch? I mean, no, the doctor like going around like trying to get answer.
How much time do you try to spend with the living portion of the population, Kim? Rutai?
She'd be in her room, like wondering if she heard anything from Francois, like from next door and such.
Oh, Francois would have informed you that the
Oh,
doctor
okay.
of the illness, if you had asked about the state of things. Or, yeah.
Yeah, I'd like to
Actually,
talk to Lila about this.
also, Has anyone been continuing to attend to any of the masses held by Merdoc?
Evelyn's been going.
So
Yeah,
Evelyn,
Benedict too.
I'll go too.
Benedict, Evelyn, Christoph, Kimmy, were you also attending?
Yep.
So the
Same routine. Keeping
So-
eyes on father.
nightly masses or the weekly ones?
Evelyn would be going nightly after Benedict visited her.
Weekly, Christoph.
Weekly.
Weekly.
Okay, well then Evelyn is the only one who hears about this because this week's midnight mass has not happened yet. Father Merdoc blames this on sin, of course, and neglecting the community and being away from God's light. He denounces those who are ill as unclean people, as they have been actively avoiding all of the masses, and that this is clearly God's punishment.
Yeah.
After all, no, there have been small coughs and sniffles and even a fever or two amongst those who attend his services, but nothing has gone beyond a couple of days. It is God's protection.
Because they've been spreading it. Lovely.
And he clearly blames these folks' lack of coming to the flock on their illness. And the general population seems a bit dubious on this, but he harps on it. The general population, you feel from the sermons, sort of rolls their eyes when he brings this up and harps on it. After all, this is a transatlantic crossing. People get sick, people die. It is part of the risk. Everyone here knew they were going to be taking that risk.
Yeah.
They've accepted it.
I would gently talk to my herd about like Jesus ministering to the sick and stuff, and say that I'll personally go and visit those that are ill.
Your herd being mostly folk of the cloth themselves, or at least highly religious individuals, will be doing so as well if you give them the all clear on that.
I'll say I'll visit them that night and see what condition they're in and precaution them to take care of their health as well. But yeah, I wouldn't dissuade them from visiting, but being careful, making sure they don't get any fluids on them.
Right. Other than that little update, the ship is yours. What do you all do? What do you want to do?
I don't have any skill in medicine. I could go check on the people, like I said. I will do that.
I would go I would like to go talk to Lila about this.
Benedict,
I guess
Christoph,
medicine
anything
is
from you
something
two?
I should have.
Benedict will be roaming around the ship, I guess. Clearly looking for someone.
I didn't mean to do that.
Christoph would just, for now, just stick around stick around again for now. Just
Right. We will start with. Let's go left her. Let's go right to left. So let's start with Cameron Tai, then we'll cut over to Evelyn. Then we'll see if Benedict finds anything. That should be fun.
Okay.
So, Karuta, you find yourself in front of the private room that has been set aside for Lila, Miss Gibbs.
Anybody else in the hallway right now?
At this point, it's early in the evening. There is a large group of people who have just passed to go up to the galley. And there are a couple members of the crew who have covered their mouths and their hands with extra strap cloth, who are bringing down like a tray of ship's biscuits, maybe a few bits of extra cured meat or like other rations of the same sort, a couple of buckets of clean water, as well as a full-on cauldron of soup with a myriad of cups. They're going to the front of the ship where the quarantine is being held.
Does anybody there that seems to be like, followers of Father Merdoc?
Not in this portion of the ship. In this portion of the ship, you
Okay.
mostly see a bunch of sailors bringing the food down, and about 18, 20 or so people coming from the very front of the ship, going up the stairs.
All right. Just gonna knock on the door then. Lila! Lila!
You
It's
hear
me.
you hear some wood dragging, a bit of metal turning, the sound of bone chimes, and the door cracking open with a silver chain, binding the door to the door frame. Give me a moment. Closes again. You hear a few more things shuffling around, and the door opens.
Can I come in now?
This is a really weird time to drop off a pig, love, but, suppose it needs must.
Oh no, it's not about the pig. It's let's talk inside. Just gonna
She's
walk in.
open the door and out of your way. It's
Minding the
out of your way, it's
salt.
the community.
So, she's gonna wait till the door is closed. I heard people be sick. Like the sickness spreading around, and the doctor's sniffing around as well. And it's, I think, I was wondering if you can do something about the sickness.
And we've been very lucky so far with this sort of thing. Normally, journey like this, I'd say 20, 30 people might have been dead by now, according to what I've heard. But so far, it's only been an unlucky son of a bitch or two who's had their throat ripped out by monsters. Present company, not the monsters. I'm talking about the rats. If that
Yeah,
wasn't clear.
yeah. I was hoping we can get this sorted out before Father Inquisitor gets sussy again.
Right. He is quite the paranoid bastard. Thing is, well, making medicines and distributing them, that takes time, that takes materials, and that takes effort. My effort and time are currently gone towards keeping you fed.
Oh, then you don't have to worry about me now. Then yes, just focus on medicine instead. I can eat off. Like we still have plenty of pigs and fish, I suppose. But sick people, they should come before my hunger.
Are you sure you're a vampire?
Yes. Look at my fang. She showed her fang.
No, love, I've seen that, but you're putting your... You're put... Do you even know these people particularly well?
No.
Aren't you afraid of them killing you?
Well, I do. But the people.
She's really really, like, giving you a hard look, trying to scrutinize you here. Like, what the like, you're a great judge of character and good at reading people. She's trying to figure out what makes you tick here. If you've got some sort of ulterior motive or angle to this. Her face is all scrunched up and in that sort of like, what the fuck's going on in your head sort of expression.
She just shrugged like, huh?
I suppose I could start making a few concoctions, good physics here and there, to help increase the vitality of men and women and all those things. Give the body a better fighting chance.
Sounds good. Do you need anything? Just let me know if you need anything, okay?
I should have enough sundry materials and dried bits and bobs. Actually, back when I was with the general populace, I had my suspicions about the father. With his communion. Religious or no, people lined up. Whole ship to get a nice little extra sip of wine. I have my suspicions.
Uh-huh.
I'm thinking that god botherer there, that chorister, is using his magic to keep his flock nice and healthy. And
I
now
would not
that
be
those
surprised.
who've parted ways from his sermoning are no longer under his protection, that nature's taken its course.
That reminds me, I never told you about this, about what I saw in his head. Right? Yes, it's been a while since we actually talked about this. So,
Right, you can
a
read
few weeks
minds.
ago, yes, a few weeks ago, I attended his mass, and he recalled his memory when he had his follower lining up in the room where the corpse of the second victim was. And then during his chant, it's like everybody was in trance. Everybody was in trance, and they weren't themselves. That's when before he ripped the spirit out of the like into our material world, and then he torched it. The spirit incinerated.
Hmm. She's going to roll
Do
her
you
occult
know?
dice.
Do you know anything about this?
She's a she's got better occult than that. It's also easier for her on the subject matter. That chorister son of a bitch. He's using the sleepers to power his magic. Their faith.
What?
They're believing in the one. He's harvesting his. So, there's going to be a bit of an explanation. There is a quintessential energy force in all of the universe that we as mages can manipulate to do our things. It exists in a static form and a dynamic form. We call it quintessence. A bit of a generic term, but it suffices. You can draw it from all manner of sources. I take it from the natural world and things of resonant meaning and power. The herbs, the blood, the heart of a beast, that sort of thing. And I use the old words and the old ways to power my abilities. Combined with the quintessence, I shape reality according to the way that I perceive it. He uses people's faith in God as wind behind his sails, as powder in his cannon. It fuels him like oil in a lantern. They were in a trance because the sleepers, the unawakened minds, well, it's easier to pull the magic out of them when they're sleeping, caught in a rapturous state, where their fervor is palpable, you can almost feel it. And when they're asleep and tranced like that, not only is the magic more readily available, but their thoughts, their energies, they don't tamper in his spellcraft. Using people like that, it's like you using their blood to sustain themselves. I find it taboo and gross and irresponsible.
So, what will happen to the people that he keep using the energy from?
Well, there's a reason why he's holding mass every bloody day for them. To keep their religious fervor up, because he's taking that fervor out of them. He's riling them up. Getting them angry. Getting them thumping their Bibles hard as he can. One, so they listen to him more. And two, so he can use them when he needs them. Whenever he does a spell like that, it'll pull that fervor out of them. They'll be more reasonable for a while. Tired. Mentally, more than anything. Docile. Like you take the fight out of somebody.
Oh no. Can I tell if she's speaking the truth?
Go ahead and roll me Wits plus Insight.
The empathy?
Well, not
I have
insight,
spit.
I keep flashing to other RPG systems. Perception plus empathy.
I have a specialization in lie detecting.
10s count as 2 successes. Well, would you look at that? That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 successes. Not only do you know that she's being completely sincere and honest, but you seem to understand what she's talking about more clearly. I'm going to explain to you now how mages work. Because Kemrutai, you understand to the point in which you kind of understand how the quintessential forces of magic function in the universe. Mages, they're strange and powerful things that shape the world according to their ideas. Father Merdoc uses song and religion and community to fuel his magic, and shapes the magic towards a religious bent. Your friend here... No, I need to quickly open a thing. What's off? Your friend Lila, she uses more occult sources, naturalistic forces, witchy things to shape her magic towards pagan witch-like shapes. And they both fuel their magic with a force called quintessence, the natural dynamic force of the universe. This actually strikes you as very familiar to a Buddhist or a Hindu idea of I think it's Brahma.
Mm-hmm.
Both physical and spiritual energy that exists either static or a dynamic force in people and physical objects. And they use whatever their abilities are and whatever their practices and ideas are to force this magic into being. And Father Merdoc is using the dynamic spiritual belief and faith of these people as a battery. And when he uses it, he expends it, which is why he's spending so much time and energy using them and forcing them into this fervor, not just so he can feel his effects, because he can do that a little bit on his own, but so he can, at a moment's notice, create bigger and more powerful effects. You've noticed that Lila takes a lot of time and practice and slow processes because she's using less dynamic energy sources. Merdoc is using already dynamic energy sources, so he can, like, bam! He could probably pull this faith out of his people if they were around for him to need it, and just, bam, cast magic on the spot.
Oh no, this is very dangerous. It's very dangerous.
You see what I mean? Clever bastard.
Yeah. Thank
Now-
you. Thank you for this information, Lila.
Now, one more thing.
Mm?
You know all the wards I keep on my walls and my doors?
Mm-hmm.
Those are enchantments. Any mage worth their salt keeps several around. Because forming magic fast is hard. This bastard's cheating already. But I think he may have created an artifact. That communion cup that he has, I think he's using that instead of his own spellcraft to keep the people healthy. I could set up something like that, but at this point it'd be done by the time we make landfall. If you figure yourself light a finger and care to purloin that cup, well, we may not have to worry about me choosing between keeping you fed and keeping the rest of the ship healthy. Artifact like that, we just dip it into whatever broth the chef is cooking up, bless it, and everyone remains healthy. If you're cutting it on to me.
I think, yeah, I think that can be done. I know
Careful,
someone who
though.
can do that.
He's careful though. He'll notice it going missing.
Definitely. Again, thank you for this. I will not bother you anymore. If you need anything, just holla at me.
Right, now mind the salt and the candles on your way out. I'll start making some cure-alls for those who've already gotten the grumby guts.
Alright. Well, on the way, she'll pull out her skirt and like her sabai and make sure it doesn't like touch anything.
You nimbly manage to not knock over any of her wards or seals. Well, as you exit the room.
Yes, she's gonna go knock on her friend's door.
We'll get back to that.
Meetings?
We'll get back to that
Okay.
as Evelyn is currently speaking to the priest in question. This is after one of his evening sermons. Everyone's sun went down, he preached, everyone went to dinner, basically. He's sitting in the one of the hammock rooms. I'll switch the setting just for a bit of better vibes. He's sitting in one of the hammock rooms, dabbing his forehead with a handkerchief as you approach Evelyn.
I'm speaking with him. I went to visit the sick people.
Oh, you went to the sick people. My mistake. It's right. So, you make your way to the front of the ship, and by now, a couple of the crewmen have left out front of the door a large pot of broth. Looks like it has what little vegetables are left chopped up in it, as well as some dried meat. Maybe a bit of wine mixed in, but it's mostly just bone broth and a large stack of ship's biscuits, a double ration of them. number of bowls on a platter as well as next to that, as the crewmen quickly hustle their way past you to get away from the room as quickly as possible. And after a moment, the door opens and you see a few sick individuals poking their heads out. A few of them, largely ignoring you, just grab the bowls and the pot and bring it in to be shared alike. And one of them looks up at you and says, uh, Sister Patricia? Patrice?
Yes.
You shouldn't be here. Ugh.
Please allow me to help you.
We don't want you. You're a very kind woman, ma'am, but we don't want you to get sick. Not our account.
I've taken an oath to tend to the sick and the needy.
The pot's pretty heavy, I guess, if you want to
Yes.
carry it in.
Allow me. Save your strength.
And they back away from the door instead of picking up this rather large, almost cauldron full of broth.
Yeah, I'll make a show of struggling with it, but not so much that they try to stop me.
As you enter into here, the smell is the first thing that hits you. Bile, sweat, even the lankness of feces and urine, though that's... Luckily they have a window in here, so it seems like they've been mucking out what latrines they have through the window there, but there are some weak enough that they've just soiled themselves. The heaviest rank odor of it is definitely though the sweat and the bile. These people have been having a very hard time keeping their food down if it's even more substantial than the broth. And some of them have been weak enough that they haven't been able to get other hammocks. Those who are more healthy, who are probably going to recover, or at least are in the early throes of illness, have seemingly been passing around the food and mucking out the latrines, trying to keep things cleanly. But, I mean, it's just a good thing you killed all the rats earlier, to be honest.
Hmm. Well, I'll try and get food to everyone, and people that seem too weak to eat on their own, I'll try to feed them, and then I'll get to trying to clean. If there's sheets that can be replaced, if not, just wring out any, remove any solids and wring out any liquids, and just do what I can to lessen the...
You are not trained in medicine, right?
No.
Give me a dexterity plus medicine.
I've spent a long time cleaning, though. Cleaning churches. Dex and medicine, okay.
Yep.
I'll use a willpower, too.
Mm-hmm.
Where's the chat? There it is.
Because I don't think there's just a skill that covers, tidiness and cleaning.
I think I used a willpower.
So you go about cleaning normally, and honestly, the reason I had you roll medicine is because this is seeing if you target the right sort of messes, getting rid of things soaked in snot or spit or anything like that, rather than just cleaning up the human filth. You do get to that as you do clean up around here well enough to just make it more comfortable in general. People won't be suffering from bed rash or bed sores as well, thanks to your help. But that wasn't the real issue. You do manage to get rid of several rags and sheets that have been sort of soaked through with bile or been used to cough into or rub one's nose too often. So the chance of reinfecting through that goes down. But it's just a lot. And you definitely helped ease their suffering, to say the very least. The fact that you are, in fact, a vampire and are completely unaffected by disease like this is definitely in your favor.
All right. It's something.
Okay, what's your humanity at?
Let me check. I always forget where it is on the sheet. Yeah, it's 7.
Okay. Yeah. Is there anything else you wanted to do back here?
I will ask them if they would like me to read them some Bible verses as a form of comfort or anything.
A few of them are amenable to this. A lot of them are just happy to have someone come by and help. But the general consensus is you're such a kind and nice woman, they don't want you risking your own health here.
She'll insist on reading at least like one short one about like something comforting about, Jesus like helping sick people and them recovering and things through his ministrations and his love.
You read one of the apostles' tellings of the lepers.
Mm.
And Jesus sent it to the lepers. And I mean, this portion of the passengers don't seem particularly religious, but they appreciate it nonetheless.
Yeah,
There are a lot
she's
of
not.
feeble thank yous on the way out.
She's not like trying to preach at them. She's just trying to offer like something to distract their minds, some comforting imagery.
Mm-hmm. And you definitely understand that they appreciate that.
Mm-hmm.
Between the wheezing and the coughing, and just having someone who is clear enough of throat and voice to cover that sound up for a few minutes is nice.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, after that, I will. I don't really know if I want to stir the doctor since he's still after Benedict and Christoph. I guess I'll go see Kim.
Right?
I'll wash up as much as I can. I do have a cool ritual for cleaning myself, but it requires something I don't have access to, so.
Right. So, before we get back to that, Benedict, you're just going through the ship, right? Trying to find a particular woman.
Yep.
Give me a perception plus investigation.
Oh, damn. I might actually find someone. Oh boy.
Wait a minute. No. Hold on, those dice.
Okay.
Wits plus occult. Oh. Okay.
Ooh.
Benedict. Going through the ship, searching for you know who. It's strange. You haven't heard anyone else's voice, besides flashes of Cameron ties, ever since you left London. The Madness Network, a universal thing to the Malkavians, has been quiet to you. None of the other mad, chittering voices of your clan. No whispers of truths or ravings of lunatics from half a world away. But while you search, while you move the crates and barrels and the boxes and bins of the deep belly of this ship, moving through the darkness like the looming predator you are, Your mind searching for something. It's strange. You hear another voice.
Oh no.
A familiar one. A terrifying one.
Oh.
Think because you got on a boat, Mr. Boxer, means you got away. You're lucky this is an interesting story. Oh, so very interesting. But the one I was writing wasn't over yet. And just when I found your Juliet in poor Vienna, poor Verona, I wonder what those Italian bastards put her through to drag her out of hell. Oh well, I'm sure the tale you're telling with the runaway princess will be just as delightful. I'll have my eye on you both very closely. And the man in black and the man from the east. Oh, they are delightfully infuriated. I might even forgive you. No, my tale was too good for you to be forgiven. Not yet, at least. And that's all you hear.
Mm. Okay. Benedict will hmm. I'll take note of that location that was mentioned. Is he able to answer that?
I mean, you can speak as much as you like.
Okay. Well, he speaks into the network. He says, how am I supposed to believe you? I just saw my beloved just earlier.
Strange thing that Benedict hears. Actually, Kim, you hear it too. Though it's more you see it. It's like for a second you're in a theater and there's a play going on, but you can't see the play. But you hear the audience all around you gloriously laughing, clapping, and cheering. But mostly it's the laughter. Like someone told the best zinger you've ever heard. And it's just there. Comes in and fades as quickly as it came.
That's what I saw.
Yeah, Kemutai, you're like knocking on everyone's doors trying to get a meeting going, and then it's like almost like the sitcom laugh, but like spookier, as I described it.
Oh god, she's just gonna cower to the side of the hallways and just sit on the floor, just like try to like block everything out.
Yeah, Christoph, you heard you heard someone knocking on your door, and how Kemutai is cowering next to it.
He would approach her and be like, what's wrong?
She just shook her head and she just like trembling, like just like sobbing, like just hiding everything. Just like when you're really scared of something and you just block everything off.
Just seeing this, Kristoff would just look around and just try to bring Cam into our room to like not have this into the into the like hallway.
It's about this time that Evelyn, you're coming back from the sick room. Benedict, would you be returning back
But
upstairs at this point?
yeah, Benedict would like to talk to Kamrutai about that.
Yeah, so you both come up in time to see Kristoff pulling Kemrutai into his quarters.
Wait, do we both or just Benedict?
It's about this time that you see Kristoff pulling him in, both of you. Benedict coming up from the stairs. Evelyn, you can see it from down the hall.
Evelyn's going to approach. Does Kristoff close the door or?
If you didn't notice, well, he would have been preoccupied. So yeah, close the door behind its back.
Okay, Evelyn will knock then.
Who is it?
Sister Patrizia.
Oh,
It's about this time that Benedict
Sure.
also pulls up.
truth. On it, he would just go and open the door, to reveal just everything on the room.
Is everything
Including-
well?
I'm not sure. Just found Cam shivering on the hallway.
May I?
By all means.
Yeah, she'll step in and walk up to Cam and kind of hold his shoulders and try to look into her eyes.
She
Kamrutai?
flinched.
You're safe. Something happened.
She'll nod.
Can you speak?
She found us.
She found one of the hunters? Found us?
She shook her head. My sire.
Oh. She's just gonna glance back and make sure the door's closed.
Benedict was basically just behind you, so he's more or less standing in the doorway.
Okay.
Yeah.
She's gonna wave at Kristoff to close the door.
Really, just close it.
What does this mean?
She found us. The story's not over yet.
Is someone here? Aboard the ship?
She shook her head.
Does she have some means to possess you from afar?
I don't know. She's stronger than me. I don't know.
You fled without knowing if she could retaliate.
I didn't think she would care anymore.
My dear, you underestimate the egos of vampires.
But I'm nobody. I'm nobody. I'm just
But you are hers.
a useless joke.
Yes, well, humans keep pet animals and abuse them, and vampires do the same with their spawn. There's little else to do with eternity for some people. Some vampires.
She weeps.
She'll offer her a hug, even though she probably stinks.
Kim wouldn't mind.
You are a little
Just
dirty.
embrace.
Benedict, you are here for this. Unless you wanted to have the door shut in your face.
Oh no, yeah, I'd be inside the room.
In case you wanted to chime in about what you heard. Because you heard more than Cameron Ty probably did.
Yeah. So you heard it too, Cam?
Kim not.
What did you hear?
That I was in the theaters again. For a second, I was in the theaters again.
I see. So we've heard different things. What I've heard is that I think she was directly talking to me. There was this voice speaking to me, telling me about my beloved and where she could be. Told me the same thing. That our story isn't over.
I keep forgetting to do my morning roll. I'm gonna do that now.
We'll have to be more careful when we arrive on land. We have no clue what she has waiting for us.
Hey, Benedict.
Yes?
Are you thinking about the words Shicho, your sire, mentioned by, like, particularly?
Yeah.
At all? You're allowed to give me an intelligence plus history.
Okay. I'm looking for where history is.
Third column. Is it? Oh. Is history not a thing?
It's not.
What?
There's no
Really, an
history.
expert knowledge? Huh.
Academics, then.
Okay.
But if it's about vampire things, it'd probably be a cult.
This is about mundane things.
Okay.
It's a bit of an old play at this point in history. Almost 60, 70 years old. But she said she went through all the trouble of finding your Juliet in the city of Verona. Reminds you of Romeo and Juliet, the play by Shakespeare.
The hysterical teenagers play.
Mm-hmm. Show that's totally about an ideal romance and not about dumb teenagers.
Pox
Not
on
about
both
the
your houses.
tragedy. Idiots unprotected by their families.
Well, that just means we have to even that just means that we have to be even more careful with our approach then. In fact, I've been thinking about this ever since we're pretty much almost there, but what are your how you all planning to settle down once we're on the other side?
I have my mission. Perhaps I'll start a convent.
Might want to look until I was kind of thinking of just, well, hiding in plain sight. But this changes things a bit. Might be better to stick around after all.
What do they seem to know?
Well, does looks at Benedict. Are you able to answer that?
Oh, sorry.
What do they know about us, if anything?
I'm not sure what they know about us, but they do know that Kamratai and I are on the run.
She sees and she knows everything. Whatever I can do, she can do better. Much better.
From the other side of the world?
Yes.
Likely to see through our eyes. Something like that.
Gonna look at
No.
Kristoff.
You
Care
know
to elaborate?
how you know how sometime I leave my body? When I do that, I can be anywhere I want. But for her, it's probably even easier.
Hmm.
She can command, she can use her power, she can do much more.
Then why hasn't she?
Because we're part of her story.
She's toying with us.
For merely entertainment?
Seems so.
She nods.
Then be entertaining. She need not take any action against you. She's quite
How?
mad, I presume.
I don't know.
Oh, for sure.
I do not mean angry, I mean not sane.
She's my sire, our sire.
Yes, that is my point.
For someone to be that way? Definitely mad, yes. I'll see what I could do to play into her words.
Usually those preoccupied by diseases of the mind are relatively easy to please. You must know the types of things that amuse her. If she can act from afar, then I'm not aware of what we might do to prevent it. Other than, well, if she's watching through your eyes, that's not safe for those of us who can escape your gaze.
Can't really argue with that. But if they really just want entertainment, then Guess I'll just have to play into that too. This.
I'm sorry.
Well, it's not as though you intended to bring this upon us, but anything that you can recall, anything that you can understand about what potential action she might be able to take against us, make a note of it. I'm uncertain what else we might do.
DM, what can I tell them about Messiah?
Give me an intelligence plus occult. It's going to be easier for you because you're very aware of this being. That's 1, 0, 2, 3, 4 successes. They have all of your abilities. They can see around the world at any point in time. They can astrally project to anywhere if they want. They can also
cool.
telepathically communicate with anyone they choose. You've been in a conversation with your master and 3 others at the same time. Each in different cities. She also is known for being able to see the future. Not the way you see the future, actually peering through reality and seeing what happens next. Not super far, but more than enough to gain an advantage in the short term. She can also do what you do with astral projection without having to leave her body at all.
I'll relay that to my party.
In addition, you know that she is also a master of obfuscation. She can make it so no one sees her. So she can be standing directly in front of someone and they would be completely vanished from their mind. She can make an object the size of a house disappear. And she can change her own face. She rarely uses these abilities, though. After all, that's what she has you and beings like Benedict for.
So she has no way of reaching us physically, only viewing us.
As far as you're aware.
She has her followers. Like the Howlmaster. That's just one of many.
Do you know if she has agents in the New World?
Would I know?
She absolutely does
Yeah,
not.
would we know?
You know
Not
for a
that I
fact
know
that
of.
her interests lay in particular with the other vampiric ancients, the other great masters of Europe, as they call themselves. Particularly, she liked foiling their plans or interfering or interjecting herself into them for her own amusement, as far as you could tell. That or she has some unbelievably complex scheme going. You're not sure which.
You relay that to Evelyn?
Yes.
Well, it would seem to me that the best course would be to continue on, mindful that we are being watched. But I don't know that she would send agents all this way for you if she is being amused by what you are doing. But we can never be too careful. Of course. We should remain on guard.
Can repeat that twice.
That reminds me. What am I here for? Ah, yes. Yes, meetings. About yes. Evelyn, you must not
Yes?
attend the mass anymore.
Why?
'Cause, Father, the magic he's using, he's taking soul energy of the people who attend his mass. And the cup that he used for his communal, it is what keeping his flock healthy. We need to steal that cup. And if we put it in the food and distribute it to everybody in the ship, they can be healthy too.
Soul energy.
Yes, like the way Lila explained to me was the source of magic can draw energy out of anything, but for Father, he used a sheep tactic by nurturing his like a herd, like rousing the emotion. So when he needs to cast a spell, it'll be quicker and be more powerful if they he put them to sleep and entrance and draw their soul energy out that way. It explained why what I saw in his memory. Now that like Lila explained to me how it works.
And what effect would this have on those he entranced?
They become duller, less lively.
Have I noticed any change in my herd?
Intelligence plus empathy to see if you remember anything, any particular period of time in which they suddenly became dull or empathetic, or apathetic, I mean.
Intelligence and empathy? Okay.
Well, that's one success. Can't be negated by all those ones. There, it's you do remember there was one particularly recent time that your flock, that your herd, did become a little malaised. You chalked it up to fear at the time, or perhaps exhaustion from several nights of non-stop vigils in a row. But after the first murder, the nights after that, your flock did seem out of it. Exhausted, not physically, but mentally and emotionally.
Interesting. I think I've noticed.
That's right.
I think I've noticed what you describe in some of my people. I'll keep them away from him, away from the mass. I'll say we need to prepare for when we land in a few weeks.
What about the communal cup? It will help people from their sickness. And like right now, I have Lila preparing the medicine, but it takes time. But that like it will only help them to tolerance the sickness better. It won't cure it, but if we could get that cup and put it in the stew pot, it will make everybody healthier.
I'm hardly a thief. You wish me to simply ask for it?
I doubt he'll give it to you. It takes time and a lot of power for a mage to create an artifact. It must be powerful.
If you merely need it once,
he would want to part with it.
If you merely need it once per day, then could we borrow it without his noticing and return it?
If it's that valuable, as to say, might not
Those
be.
are some very sick people. I do not think all of them will last if we do not do something.
How bad are we talking about?
Some are too weak to eat on their own, and unable to leave bed or to use the chamber pot.
Well, I think I can handle that. It'll be interesting, but you said to the pot then.
Yes, just put it in a stew pot. I won't be taking blood from her ritual, so there will be some pig for slaughter.
Yes,
So
that
maybe
will
we'll
help
pot
with
the
rations.
stew. Yes.
Oh boy, so stealing. Oh, how to even? In a couple days to survey the situation, but I'll see what I can do.
Do we know where he keep the cup?
I could ask some of my people if they've seen where he stores it.
Mm. All right, so that is the plan.
Very well.
Right. So it sounds like you're robbing a priest.
Yes.
Borrowing.
Might as well.
Borrowing his cup daily, briefly.
It look pricey though.
We're keeping it.
Borrowing
him
without
know.
permission with the intention of returning, or without the intention of returning?
Returning optional. But we'll have to return it.
Evelyn's suggestion is to steal it every night and put it back every night. Just quickly take it to the kitchen, put it back, so he won't notice. I don't know if that's practical, but that's what she's suggesting.
So there is a hiccup with that. If you intend to use the cup to bless the sick people's soup, you have to steal it before their food is delivered.
True. Okay.
And
Should have
their
to be
food
during the
is
day.
delivered after Father Merdoc gives his evening masses, during which he takes communion with the cup.
What if we arrange to have the food delivered earlier?
That could help, but earlier, this time of year, the sun is still up.
Yeah. Okay.
Maybe, this suggestion, perhaps you could convince Father Murdoch to have his sermons after dinner. If timing is your issue, and you still
Maybe.
want to go through with stealing the cup every day.
Can I consult the star for answer?
Sure, you may attempt to do so.
Hello, star!
You break out your charts, and
I'm so specialized in astrology.
So you look through your astrological charts and symbols, and for some reason there's a tarot card of the of the King of Cups in here. No, not really. The path ahead is challenging. But so long as you are successful, it will be safe. There is a more dangerous path that will be easier. But unlike the one that you are walking down,
Oh, sorry.
you don't have to it'll all the danger will happen at once instead of drawn out over time effectively. Is stars are telling you.
Star, I don't get it. I don't relay a message to the party.
There's only
DM
one
breaking the
risk of
fourth
being
wall
caught
here.
if we steal it, but then if we steal it repeatedly, there's risks every time we try to steal it and put it back.
Yeah, pretty much.
Mm.
If you try to steal it and just keep it, there's gonna be a big risk right up front. But once you've dealt with it, it's gone. If you choose to try and steal it every night, that's gonna be risky, and it's gonna be an ongoing risk for the rest of the journey.
Do we have a way of keeping it concealed? Like, does anyone have any kind of...
You each have a private bedroom with a private footlocker.
Yeah.
Mm.
You also
That
have
requires
a
that we
very
lie.
large boat.
Yeah. I guess we need to hide it also from the person in our party who can't lie the best.
There's a crow nest.
I would
People
not put
don't
it in the
usually
crow's
look
nest,
up.
no. It would be safer in one of the rooms.
If anything, could be planted it someone like. Could we plant it somewhere else too? Just like. If we really don't want to draw attention to ourselves while we're keeping the thing.
Like the bottom of the sea.
No.
We still need to use it.
I'm not particularly
Yeah.
eager on setting someone
No,
up and having
after.
them persecuted. Oh, after.
After we're done, like, healing people, like, the cup fight is out the bottom of the sea, maybe?
It would be a waste.
Certainly.
I don't know, tie it to some railing, just drop it.
We'll get to that. We'll cross that bridge when we get there. In the end, are we like stealing it every night or just skipping it?
The least suspicious person to keep it, I think, is... You look at sister.
I would prefer that he still have use of it, but perhaps it is too much to take in return repeatedly. I will ask if he can move mass later into the evening. After dinner.
If well, yeah, if we do that, then there might be a possibility of like stealing it repeatedly. But if we're keeping it, then that might not even be necessary. We could just, let's say, borrow it after the mass and bless it later on the next night. It would be a bit too in the nose if it was to disappear permanently after you asked to move the...
Yes, quite. Did they have this more than once? Will it cure the sickness? Do you know, Kimratai?
She did not mention if it has to be more than once. She did not mention that. She just told me, like, if it were to put in the stew pot, then it would help. It would make sure those people became healthy again.
There's nothing preventing us from simply taking them an additional serving of broth later on in the night.
That's right.
They are ill. Having additional fluids would be very wise.
Sounds manageable. would say, and you might also want to double check with them to see if there's anything that needs to be done on our side other than chugging the cup in there. Just precautions before we act.
Lila merely said to dip it in the broth, yes?
Yes. Dip it. Stirring around.
If that is merely what he's doing with the wine, I'm giving him mundane wine and he is putting it into the cup and then feeding it to people, then that seems to be the mechanism, yes.
But we could probably do everything on one night then. Just have them, have the cook just do an extra serving and just um, chug the cup or perform it on that serving instead.
Let me know when you want me to take care of the pigs.
Is there a way to collect the blood for you? If we ask for the pigs to be slaughtered, is there a way to collect the blood for you?
I'm afraid we just have to go back to be draining them and beat up their corpses.
Very well.
Right. So, as I hear it, the plan is to steal the cup once, and just tonight to feed the sick passengers an extra helping of broth to see if it takes effect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Kind of hoping that it might be enough to just make them better, but if we have to do it repeatedly, then yeah, we have to keep the cup.
Mm-hmm. Sure. Who's on cup snatching duty? And who wants to go talk to the chef and have them, whip up an extra batch?
Evelyn will carefully ask her heard about where he keeps the cup. See if there's a way to figure out that positioning so it's a bit easier to find. But Kristoff will be the one doing the snatching because he is actually sneaky.
Okay.
Yes.
Huh.
I can help distracting the cook.
So, let's call a member of your herd a man by the name of Tyler. Younger, not a part of the clergy or someone who's taken vows yet, but they're faithful and they believe in this mission, and they set their life behind to help you out with it. Are they? They're not aware that you're a vampire, right?
She would not have revealed that unless absolutely necessary.
Not really. The for You lose your memory for like the last hour around the time that you have the kiss, so it's not a conversation that needs to happen.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Um, but yeah, you find Tyler. Um, you bring him aside to speak to him in private. Anything I can help you with, Sister Patrice?
Yes, I visited the sick. Some of them are very, very unwell. I was hoping that, well, it's disheartening to hear that Father Merdoc has turned his back upon them. They were happy to listen to some of the Bible readings that I gave them after I helped them to clean up the room. I do believe they can be reached, but some of them are very, very unwell. I fear for them.
There were more than a few priests from where I grew up like that, all fire and brimstone. You know, Christ did minister to lepers and the sick. I don't see why we shouldn't, especially if it could bring them around.
Yes, I believe so too. I believe that. Could we give them communion? It should help them. It should help their spirits, to strengthen their spirit, and allow their bodies to heal. Unfortunately, I do not think Father Merdoc will be amenable to this idea.
Can you perform the transubstantiation, sister? Do you know how? I mean, it's you bless the cup and the bread, and you say the words, but I mean, I suppose you are.
I fear that I may not have the authority in the eyes of men. But if I had, perhaps I could borrow his communion cup. No, he would never allow it.
I mean, I'm faithful, but I'm not a member of the priesthood. I don't he'd listen to me. Unless you're suggesting, and he sort of cringes a little bit and then looks at you like, are you saying what you think you're saying?
Such a cup is property of the church. It should be ministering to the people, all of the people, anyone in need.
I agree, sister, but I'm no footpad myself. I'm about as clumsy as an ox.
Oh, no, I'm not suggesting that you... No, certainly not.
I mean, if you knew someone with slyer hands, he does basically just leave it out by his foot trunk while he's, not using it.
I see. Well, I must pray on this. But,
I mean,
yes,
he
I must do
forgives
everything I
all our
can for these.
sins.
Yes, of course. If helping the needy is a transgression, then I fear I shall transgress.
I mean, he threw a bunch of moneylenders out the church in the first place.
Quite. Thank you. I must think on this. Thank you. I must pray. She's also going to talk to her herd in general and explain about. She's going to have lessons with all of them. Probably like in, I don't know. No one uses the brig, right?
No one's
Somewhere
had to be arrested yet on this journey, no, so it's basically empty.
somewhere that's big enough for the 10 of them, 11 of them, including her. But that there's not going to be any foot traffic, so the brig seems fine. Or a corner storage place or something. She'll find somewhere. And she explains that this will actually mean that they can't attend mass because they need to be focusing on preparing for what they'll do on the mission when they arrive on land. And she needs them to be getting full rest. So if they're called upon for any vigils, then they need to excuse themselves and make sure that they sleep when they're not studying with her.
I think they're specifically signed up on this journey to be missionaries, and they are amenable to you in particular because they're explicitly your herd, so you are a leader figure to them. They're not a cult. like herd. They're not slavishly loyal to you, but again, they're here for a job, and you're telling them that like it's time to get ready because we're almost there. I don't think I'm gonna have to roll for this.
Okay.
Just fictionally, it makes sense for them to be like, yeah, no, it's time for us to start getting concerned about other people's souls. Yeah, no, that makes sense.
Yep. Cool. Yeah, so I will go and see Christoph and explain where the cup is, and then if he's planning to do it tonight, I'll go and see the cook about an extra serving of broth. Are we also doing the pig tonight?
Yes, she can do it. Yum.
Go drink and beat up a pig.
I'm sorry, pig. May your next life be better than this. I'll pray for your soul delivering. Sape sata.
So you grab a pig, you drink it, and you prepare to drag it up to Mr. Benoit. That I'm hearing?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yes. The horse beat the pig and didn't do it.
These angry horses.
So. Is it just Christoph who's gonna go steal the sacramental cup?
You need a lookout or something?
It would be best to have someone in there just before, but just snatching.
Sneaky.
I guess Benedict could do that.
I guess it can be a lookout.
Just a slight reminder here. You do have those points in obfuscate.
Yeah. I was actually planning to use Mask of 1,000 Faces instead for like convincing the chef.
I mean, we're the boss. We can just be like, make more.
Okay. So what's the plan here, Christoph?
Yeah, they might leave it around, but it's still, whatever, with that many people in, might still be challenging to pull it off. Is there any ways that you can just make any sort of distraction on the other side of the room?
A distraction. I mean, if you want a distraction, I could just make some noise, I guess. Call everyone's attention.
Pretend you're fallen ill.
Ah, yeah. Fallen ill.
You were bitten by a rat.
That will certainly.
But then he might rouse the doctor. This is a lot of character, by the way. Evelyn's not talking to Benedict. Boxing expedition with the priest.
That's two birds with one stone.
Kim could pretend that she saw Jesus or something.
Oh my god!
Look at his traps.
I saw Korean Jesus.
Right, so we're only trying to distract the priest, Father Merdoc.
Anyone else that might witness it as well. My hood won't be there. I guess I could use my hood to distract him. I don't know.
That might require some convincing.
Yeah.
Maybe head to the room and I'll just grab something and see if something jumps out at you as an opportunity of distraction making.
Yeah, might as well at this point.
So you enter the set of quarters that has been used by Merdoc as effectively his little private church for the last little while, as well as like it's still passenger quarters for like 9 other people. Uh, in there, most of the people at this point have begun quiet contemplation or just gone to sleep early. Looking around the room, there's one person sitting in their hammock reading the Bible. Father Merdoc is probably just doing some personal grooming things, maybe cutting his toenails. There's a couple of people who have set up a little, like, like a little box with a few playing cards on it, playing a game of some sort of card game. Um, it doesn't seem like they're gambling, but you know they're getting into it. Um, but other than that, there's it's mostly a quiet situation. Not that much going on, and it's a fairly open space. Um, the room is split sort of down the middle with a set of hammocks that seem to have been put back in place after whatever little sermon Father Murdoch sets up is done. Uh, yeah. But otherwise, there's hammocks going all up and down the walls.
So, so maybe do something with those that are playing cards. Just join them and make a ruckus or something.
Uh, sorry, how many people are we seeing here?
There's a total of Father Murdoch, two people reading the Bible, two people playing cards. Um, say one person watching the card game and two more trying to get an early round of sleep. So that's about 7 people in here total.
Okay.
The most noise is coming from the little card game. Two people are playing like some like some ancient like old equivalent of rummy. Oh, some older fellow was looking on just like, oh, I want to play that if I were you. If you see, you shouldn't have played it like that. And that's basically the most noise coming in the room, other than like the sound of Father Murdoch. I don't know, trimming his toenails or his beard.
And
Okay.
how was those rooms lighting, if I may ask? Like, how dark are we talking about?
Dim, but not dark. There's two lanterns lighting the entire room. The closer you get to the lanterns, the lighter it is. But there's more than enough shadows and dimness to just sort of creep around in a little bit.
Okay. Shall we get into position, Christoph?
Sure thing. Yes. The moment I see, I'll be on the lookout for the perfect moment. Just try, do your best. Even if you allow me just a single moment there, I'll do what I can.
Okay. Well, here we go then. Then Benedict goes to the opposite end of where the cup is, and he checks for when Christoph is ready.
Let me just give you a little diagram real fast. Oops, that's I was looking for the right.
Oh. Yes, please.
Rectangle. So big rectangle. Here's the door. Hammock. Some guys playing cards. Dude sitting in the hammock, just sort of like pestering them. I'd say Father Murdoch is about here. Cup is like right here.
Ah, shit.
And where are we entering the room from, if I may ask?
I will draw a little triangle. It's right here.
Okay.
Subsequent question to the M. I'm gonna send you a funny private message and tell me if will I be able to control the range of that?
Your funny haha quiet powers?
Yes.
Um, uh, you could by so a 6 meter radius. That means a 3 foot diameter. So, 3 meter diameter. So it's about 15 feet. That'd still be like this room here is like about 10 feet deep and twice as wide. So you'd be able to silence like if you put the radius right here, it'd go up to about here. Would something be silent? If you put it right in the corner. And then there'd be like a same diameter bubble on the other side of the wall and going outside of the ship, basically.
Yeah, the thing with that is that
Like
it
5
goes
feet in the
from me.
hallway.
The thing with that is that I'm the center of it.
Oh, yeah, that, mm, that ability, its successes explicitly make the radius get bigger. I think. Let me double check that. What was it? It's under that ability.
It doesn't even. It's something that you
Oh,
turn
no.
on, basically.
Yeah, it's just turning it on. Yeah, it says nothing about controlling the radius, so it just turns on like that. I'd say. I mean, it's a vampire blood power, so I'd allow you to try to roll like wits and occult to try and shrink the radius.
We'll probably get to that then, if needed. But in the meantime, just do it the whole way then. Just obfuscate to one corner and just to to one of the not so well lit areas and just wait. And then they can take it as a signal the moment he cannot see me anymore.
Oh, you know, Optus good as well.
Yeah.
Oh, right. Yeah. Forgot you guys got that.
All right. Is Christoph ready?
Yes.
All right. Are you able to draw on the map where Christoph would be?
Right
So you
now,
said, like,
around this,
around over here?
around that corner.
Around that corner.
Okay. Uh, Benedict, once he sees that, once he gets the signal that Christoph is ready, he slams the door open and he goes, "Ghosts! There's ghosts on the ship!"
Ah. You're not lying. You're not lying is the thing. Um, roll me, roll me manipulation.
Mhm.
Manipulation plus. It's not subterfuge because you're not lying. Um, manipulation plus expression. That's a success. The two men playing cards and the one person who's watching it, their eyes just sort of dart over to you and says, "Wait, ghosts? The bloody fucking ghosts, really?" Father Merdoc stands up and begins walking towards you.
Yes, I saw them. They were in the quarters. Father, I need your assistance on this. Are ghosts real?
Fair.
Never in my life have I seen one.
Calm yourself. Says Mr. Benedict. Are you sure what you saw was a ghost? Or in spirit?
Yes, I saw it with my own eyes.
He looks at you, giving you like a hard look, trying to gauge your honesty. I have experienced spirits upon this vessel before. There was one after the murders. I believe it was the victim of the beast you slew. Perhaps the other victim is still incorrect. Take me to this, I think.
Well, this going on, Crystal will try to just approach the cup.
Give me well, right now no one's paying attention to it, Kristoff. Give me a Dex plus stealth to make it so you don't make any noise and attract attention to yourself.
Got a lot of funny math. Oh, there we go.
Yeah, no, you're fine. Like a phantom yourself, you move through this room. Pocket the cup, no problem. As Benedict leads Father Merdoc out of the room, you're able to exit quickly thereafter behind him. However, I'd like to stick with Benedict and Father Merdoc for a moment.
Oh shit. Okay.
Now, Mr. Benedict, why exactly are you bringing this to my attention? I know you're not lying about seeing ghosts, but this excitement you're putting on, you're not afraid of them. I can tell.
I'm sorry, Father. I was simply in a panic. I didn't used to believe in them, but seeing them for the first time, I was in shock.
Of that I don't believe, Mr. Benedict. I believe that you knew ghosts existed this whole time, and that you were not scared at all of them. But this sudden panic, I believe that is an obfuscation. What are you up to, sir?
Okay, as he says this next sentence, I want to use Dementation the Haunting. I want to spend a blood point for that.
Okay. Let's check how the haunting works here. Dementation. Manipulates the sensory centers of his victim's brain, flooding with senses and visions, sounds and sense, or feelings that aren't really there. Images. Oh, okay. The effects last dependent. Oh, this could last him a year. Okay. It was alone, almost and mostly at night. Form of the subject's fears, guilty memories, or anything else the story felt is dramatically appropriate. Ooh. Okay, so go ahead and spend your blood point and roll manipulation plus subterfuge. The difficulty is the victim's perception plus self-control. He's got
I'd
good
also like to use
self-control
willpower.
and decent and decent perception. Let me change the music here for a moment.
Manipulation plus subterfuge.
So that's... What is it? Does he roll or is it just the total? Okay, difficulty is that. Right. Ooh. Oh. Oh no. Oh, Father Merdoc. For the next 3 months, he's going to be seeing audio sensory hallucinations of his darkest fears. Uh,
Did you also count in that I used the willpower for that?
oh god, that's a year. Oh my god. So, oh, that's bad. So you say that, and you turn around, and you flick this vampiric magic upon Father Merdoc. And for a moment, he flinches, and he looks at you, and his face goes pale, and his hands begin to quiver and twitch as a grimace spreads across his face that turns into like it begins to melt into this panicked look, but then almost this hateful snarl. Demon!
What?
And
Father.
he turns around and runs back into that other room.
Oh shit.
Christoph, you see this occur as Father Merdoc shouts and screams and is ranting and raving in German. You speak German, yes?
Yes?
He is screaming about the Antichrist rising, about
Holy shit.
the forces of hell having burst from Benedict's skin, of the arch nemesis having shown their hand, and the end being at hand. As he frantically tears apart his personal footlocker.
Oh. That's... Oh boy. Am I still in the room?
You see this from the doorway, basically. Everyone in the room has woken up and are like looking at him like he's gone crazy.
I would just... Okay, just move away from the door enough to like... Even just close it behind me and go towards Benedict and just... What did you do?
I made him believe in ghosts.
That's not exactly what he said just now. Let's go. You don't want to be here.
Yeah, we should go. Yeah, we should go.
Okay.
During the way, I tell him exactly what was said.
Demon.
I'm sorry, I'm finding an appropriate track here real fast. So, You two begin. Where are you two headed?
To the kitchen, or staying outside of the kitchen until we know that the coast is clear to like go in there. I guess. Guessing.
Okay.
No.
So we cut up to the kitchen. Evelyn, Kemutai, you're talking to Mr. Benoit. He's a little tired. He's a little grumpy, but you've brought him a whole pig, and it's like, yeah. So you want me to what? Give them a little something more arty, another meal to help with their belly, so you kill an entire pig over it. I mean, don't get me wrong. I can use the pork, but
It's not. The pig is for everyone, but we just need an additional serving tonight of broth to help them. They're not keeping food down very well. I want to try to help them.
oh, so the
Hydrated.
swine is too buttering me up, eh?
Well, it's to
It
ensure that
worked,
everyone else.
Mon chéri, it worked. But
Yes, we want everyone else to stay healthy as well as tend to the sick.
well, this should help. It'll feed everyone for a couple of days.
Very good. Thank you so much.
And you wanted these bros done tonight.
Yes, if you can. I know it's a lot to ask. You've already served all the meals of the day.
20, 30 minutes. I was planning on, sitting back with a nice bottle of sherry, but, duty calls, huh?
Bless you.
You are the best.
Keep saying that. It's going to help me get through this.
You need any help?
You know your way around the kitchen, no Sherry?
A little bit.
And a pair of hands will make the work go faster. And it's about this time that actually no, you're up here for a good like 5-10 minutes before Benedict and Christoph show up. And Mr. Benoit, he doesn't have a lot to work with. He's mostly just had this big big cauldron just chock full of bones and pigskin and any sort of scrap cuttings and fish bones and whatever, just boiling probably nonstop. And he's working on it and he's keeping it stirring and he's portioned out like a nice big cauldron's worth of that, and he's like adding a few things to it, chopping up like some potatoes, really small and fine, maybe some garlic or a dried onion, whatever hasn't gone bad in terms of greenery, and he's just boiling it away.
Yeah, help with the shopping. I'll stay away from the fire. Clear away from the fire.
Don't throw away those potato peels. They're going into the broth later. It's got a lot of the good stuff in the peel, yeah? No?
Yes.
And there's quiet for a while, as you think that everything's gone well. And then there's a gunshot.
Huh?
And 2 more.
What?
And then the sounds of screams.
Christoph would hand over the cup at this point, just run for it to see what's going on.
Does anyone follow Christoph downstairs?
Is Benedict able to?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
You all
Ready
heard
to go
it.
follow.
I'll go too.
So as you run
I'll
downstairs,
go.
you see Father Merdoc, a torch in one hand, the crucifix around his neck glowing, a knife in the other, and a suit of chainmail over his vestments. Uh, he
He's gone full
is
crusade.
he is singing in a language none of you understand as he is wrenching a knife out of the chest of one of the Marines. Two other ones on the floor grabbing the sides of their ears as they pour blood. Behind him, there were the 7 people who were in his room, eyes glazed over, hunched over, hands pressed, clasped desperately in a prayer position as they slowly trail behind him.
So we're in a hallway, right?
Yes, it's a little over 5 foot wide. Actually, a little over 8 foot wide.
Okay. I'm gonna ask if I can do something. I don't know if this is powerful enough to do what I want to do, but I will send you the description.
Let's see here. Do... Right. So, yeah, this is interesting. That's for one scene. Add 1 die to your dice pools for stealth and intimidation. Opponents plugged into flopping shadows and darkness subtract 1 from all their stamina dice pools. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. After one scene. So it sounds like it only takes 1 point of stamina off, and that's not going to be enough to knock anybody out here out.
There is a note in the previous skill up, which I also have, which mentions, I'll just send it to you.
Oh, right, Shadow Knight, right?
Yeah, Shroud of Night.
Uh-huh.
So if that one's more effective, then. But it does mention Shadow Play if they reach 0 stamina.
Right.
Do you want the full text?
No, I'm reading Shadow of Night right here. The thing is, you can cast both of them, and they'll stack.
Okay. That'll take 2 turns, though, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Shroud of Night would drain enough stamina to possibly knock these people out. Yeah.
That's what I'll try to do then.
Okay. So I'm gonna say you begin emanating this darkness from your being, this supernatural darkness, and Father Murdoc's eyes, his glowing eyes, snap up and towards you from this man who he has just freshly murdered. And that's where we're going to. Oh, actually, look at the time. We're 20 minutes overdue for a break.
Oh boy.
We're going to go on a break right here, And when we come back, we're rolling for initiative.
Oh boy.
Oof.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going again. Haha.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
So-
ooh, hee.
You have a very angry priest with magic powers actively attempting to kill you now.
All of us or just Benedict?
Well, at the very least, Benedict and Evelyn, because darkness is coming out of her.
I prayed to Jesus to turn the lights off.
That's not how he perceives it. And as a mage, he's going to reject your reality and substitute it with his own.
I mean, he's
By
already lost his
force.
shit, so you know.
Let's see here. Let me just double check how you do initiative this game. I'm pretty sure it's just rolling your dexterity.
Do I at least get my thing off before the initiative starts?
Your first discipline, yes.
Nice.
Okay, you're rolling your dexterity plus your wits. This is the only time where you actually are combining the. Well, I could have you combine those two at any point in time, but this is the only prescribed time. So wits, dexterity.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Oh wow!
I'm gonna use a willpower if I can.
You can.
Oof, low roll. Why
And
are
the
we all
DC is
rolling low?
6. Christoph, that's 1, 0, 2, 0. Actually, that's 1, 0, 1, 0, 1, 0. That's a botch on Christoph.
Yep.
No.
That's a botch on
no.
Evelyn.
No way.
Evelyn
Even with
used
the willpower, still botched.
Oh, with the willpower, you do not botch.
Yay, no botch.
With the willpower, that's a 1.
Good thing I used that.
So Christoph botched. Father Merdoc got a 3. Kemutai, you got 4.
With 9 dice, still botched.
Minutes, you got 1.
That's
2,
really rough.
3.
Welcome to my rolls.
Oh dear.
I'm surprised it took this long for it to happen.
You need to make some sacrifices to Lady Luck, I think.
And Christoph, you got a 0. So you lose
Yep.
your first turn.
God damn it.
So Kemutai, you're up.
Can I get the description of the scene again? Are we in the room or are we in the hallway?
You are in a hallway. Let me draw. Let me do a quick little doodly doo of
Yes,
the
There's
scene here.
there's his 7 followers and there's a marine he just killed.
Uh-huh.
And there are other marines?
So you're here. This second rectangle is going to be a set of stairs where most of you are at. I'll actually use your tokens real fast because they're here. Arrange yourselves however you see fit on the staircase.
Guess it.
Father Benedict is here. There's a marine dead by his hand, and another couple of marines over here bleeding from the ears. And then there are his followers in the back. The hallway is actually a bit longer than this, but you know you get the general idea and shape of the scene. All right, and yeah, it's Kem first.
I'm gonna shout out loud, asking for help from the spirit of the ship to help break that line of power by do whatever they can with the people in the back, avoid approaching the priest, but try to pull those trans people behind him, or
You're
I don't know,
asking the
distract them.
ghosts for help.
Yes.
Okay.
Don't pull them away from my spell, because then they won't be
Oh,
passed
no.
out.
Not pull them, because I think in their minds there's probably some sort of connection. And
Oh,
I
you
am
mean
not sure if,
mentally pull them away, not physically?
Yes.
Okay.
The ghosts will help through whatever means that are available to them. As ghosts' means to interact with the spirit with the physical world are limited, They know what this man did to one of their own, and they like you well enough. They're going to try to help.
Thank
But-
you, Coast.
They will try to intervene when they can, because they're not necessarily here yet.
Okay, okay. Like, the message got out. That's good enough.
Yeah, the ghosts heard you. I'll give you that much for free.
Thank you.
Ghosts have been paged.
It is Murdoc's turn. He casts the dead man at his feet aside, pulling the knife from his chest,
You
pointing at
can't see
Evelyn,
though, right?
and he shouts something in German. Christoph, you understand it as something akin to Antichrist?
Shroud of Night's already fallen though, right?
Yes.
I do have to do a roll for Shroud of Night.
Oh, no, your first ability. Shadow Play.
My first ability, Shadow Play. Okay.
Yeah, you can cast
Yeah, so
Shadow of
he
Night on your
has-
turn.
So he has to do. Courage roll difficulty 8.
Okay. That is a success.
Okay.
If I remember correctly, counter magic works like that. But he is instead. He is going to begin intoning something in a language you cannot understand. And one of his followers, who's sitting gripping their hands together so tightly that you can practically hear their joints popping from here, tenses up and falls over. And he is going to unleash a blast of holy light at you, Evelyn.
Oh, by the way, the description doesn't say that it comes from me. It said I gain limited control over shadows and other ambient darkness.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Like, he might be able to sense it as a mage. I just want to make it clear in case, like, anyone else is missing it.
Yep.
Okay.
So you're allowed to try to dodge this if you like. Try.
That's like Dex and whatever.
Yep. And he's gonna spend
Dex
that much
and
contested
athletics, right? I'm not good at either of those. Yeah, I'll try. I'll blow another stamina. No, stamina. Willpower. And I'll do my little roll. Please, Lady Luck. That's a little better.
Okay, you succeed. He intones this song, sings in this language you cannot understand. This sound that sounds like a trumpet's blast comes from his mouth, and as you hear it coming towards you, it coalesces, transforming from sound into light, and shoots straight at you. And you manage to duck, as behind you, you see the stairs seared as if they were underneath a giant magnifying glass. Burnt.
Oh,
Lovely.
And that's his turn.
If there's anything you can do to make him burn stamina, I don't know how this works.
So the funniest thing is, someone who's not going in this door had a way. Fucking. Thank you, dice rolls.
Oh, you have a way of burning stamina? Damn.
Yeah.
Alright. Let's try to stay alive. So whose turn is it next?
It is Benedict's turn.
okay.
Yeah, Benedict's turn.
So, the passengers behind him, are they like fighting with him?
It's
They
trance, I
are
think.
they are hunched over, kneeling in a praying position.
Mm,
As soon as they were sort of hunched and walking before, as soon as the fight started, they dropped to their knees.
okay.
And they are chanting and singing in this language that you don't understand, just the same as Merdoc is.
Mm. Punch or passion? I'd like to use passion, dementation passion, to like enrage him. Maybe get him to like get in a
That's gonna
weakened
be
state.
it's gonna be a really high difficulty if it's gonna work at all.
You want to use your dementation to calm him.
Calm him down when he's just seen a what he called the Antichrist. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think that's the way. You can wind him. That'd be good. Is there a possibility to try and punch him in the solar plexus so he gets winded?
Uh,
Lose stamina.
Not
I mean, if you want his
really.
stamina.
Well, actually, if you manage to injure him, he will lose. If you manage to get him to hurt, he will lose dice towards his dice pool, which would help to knocking him out.
All right, I'll listen to Sister Patricia's advice. I'll go and punch the priest.
You know you've been wanting to.
All right, what do I roll here?
Dex was brawling for punching.
Okay. Where's my brawling? Okay.
The power
okay.
of Christ compels you to go the fuck to sleep. Okay, that is gonna be a hit. He's going to try and dodge out of the way. Because, getting punched in the face, not a good time, believe it or not. That was one, oh, that's one success on you because of the one. So he does actually manage to dodge.
Fuck. I guess that's the end of my turn.
Evelyn, it's your turn.
Turn again. Okay. We stack the next skill.
Yeah, so you activate Shadow Play.
Mhm.
Well, you have Shadow Play activated, and now you're going to activate Shroud of Night, right?
Yep.
Manipulation plus Occult. I'm going to say he's about 12 meters away, so you're going to need to get 2 successes. Unless you want to just walk towards him after this.
Yeah, I can walk up.
So you just need to succeed in it.
I'm gonna use another willpower.
Okay, so you manage to extend this force of darkness out into the ship. Every mortal with 3 or less effective stamina passes out and begins to choke. So his choir, this bizarre supernatural singing, stops. Because all those normal people, even if they're quite fit, probably don't have more than 3 stamina. So they're out of the picture. Those 2 Marines pass out.
Can I stop it once they all stop?
You can.
Okay, I will drop
Father
it.
Merdoc, however, is still active.
Yep, that's fine. He's now depowered, hopefully.
Mm.
Is there anything I can take minor cover behind, like go around the corner slightly?
Yeah. If you hop down from the stairs and just sort of go like hug the stairs, you'd be able to partially have to block the line of sight.
Sure.
It is now Kristoff's turn. Kristoff, however, you were so caught off guard by this display of supernatural power that you were practically stunned for the round. And it goes back up to Kemutai.
Ooh, I would like to blood buff myself
Mhm.
for my physical thing. That's 3 points. Let's see. Bloop. And I'll drag the injured out of the way. Like, drag it all the way out. Can I do that?
There's a lot of injured people in here.
Well, one by one, let's go.
Okay, you start
Like, at
doing
least
it.
in front of us. At least in front of us. So it cleared the way for them to
I mean,
fight better.
he's not focused on them.
Yeah, but it opens, like, the floor, you know, so you can go full...
I don't think they count as an obstacle, right?
Do they?
Not really. This is
Okay.
Fights in this game are more abstract, but if you want to spend your time protecting the weak, you can.
Yeah, I'll protect the weak.
If you're
the
missing
best
a willpower,
fighters.
take it back. Take 1 point back for your caregiving.
Aww. Yeah, take the weak out. First, drag them all the way to the back and stuff.
You managed to get the Marine with a knife wound out of the way, basically. It's Murdoc's turn. And he has to cast his spells the hard way. Right. So he still has some quintessence to spend on this of his own, so I'm going to throw those in. So, Benedict, Father Merdoc sees you, and he begins... He puts his hands on your shoulders, and he begins to do this sort of enchanting, like, singing, and you can see inside of his mouth the sound, like, well, you can't see the sound waves turning to light, but you can see light massing in his mouth as you stop hearing the things that he is saying, and just start seeing a ball of light forming in his mouth.
Oh my
Would you like to
god.
try to dodge?
I would like to try to dodge.
Go ahead. It's Dex plus Athletics.
Dex plus athletics. Okay.
So you just straight up duck out of the way before he Dragon Ball Z mouth beams a blast of light out of his mouth that again sears the stairs behind you like a magnifying glass would, but on a very, very large scale. It is now your turn.
Oh, my turn? Okay. I punch the priest.
Go right ahead.
Mm-hmm.
That's 3 successes. He does not manage to parry. Go ahead and roll your strength. Okay, that's 1 success because of the botch die. He does not manage to soak it as you deck the priest in the face.
Achievement unlocked. Okay, I'm done.
Kristoff, your turn.
Before I even do anything, so just we're full blown killing it or incapacitating.
I mean,
we have all reason not to
he's
keep
gone
him around.
insane, so there's probably no keeping him at this point.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Is there... Imagining that there's still the guns of the Marines are lying around?
Yeah, there's one that's been shot, then that's been fired. One that's just on the ground over by here, and another one that's currently by Kenrutai because they dragged the dead body away.
So would it take more than one action to like grab that gun and, you know?
I'd say yes, so you could celerity up the movement of the actions.
Thought you had a gun.
I believe you
Better
can actually have a
than...
gun.
Yes, but Hey, more than one, you know, just double tapping. Gotta amend that.
Let's grab it after.
So yeah, this I guess I'll let's see. Go big or go home then, yes, all 3 celerity is being spent and just blob off in the dexterity just while we're at it. So that would be 4. So that will be like all the 3 actions. Just first one would just go for the gun, and the 2 remaining ones just shoot him twice.
Okay. So you have you use your action, your celerity to take extra actions. So you have your dexterity plus your blood buff
Mm-hmm.
plus your firearm skill.
Rolling twice or
Yeah, roll twice, once for each shot. By the way, one of these is a pistol. The other one's a full-on like matchlock rifle.
mm-hmm.
Oh. That's 1, 2, 3, 2, 3, 4 successes. And you gonna fire the other one? 1, 2, 3, 4. So 4 successes on each one. So I believe I said that these old-timey time guns were +2 damage, yeah?
Let me check
Can
my
I-
notes.
I could open up the World of Darkness Armory book and see if I can find flintlocks. Uh-huh.
Yeah, I don't have a note.
Trying to look for it.
It's not in the regular book, is it?
Not this. No.
Okay.
Uh, Archaic firearms. A pistol is -1 damage, and a musket is 0. So, that means I'll just call them 0 because subtracting a damage die is kind of lame. That's all hell. So you're going to roll the amount of successes you had. So 4 on each. Because he's already used up his dodge. So that's 2 successes of lethal damage on the first shot, and 1 success of lethal damage on the second. So that becomes 1, 2, and 3. Right, so he is currently wounded, as you put 2 bullet holes in his shoulders, piercing through his... actually, no, he has armor. Nope. Nope. Because you put 2 bullet holes into his shoulder and his abdomen. He weakens greatly, blood pouring from his wounds. Yeah, top of the initiative, it's Kemrutai. At this point, spirits can, actually, you wouldn't be able to see this necessarily, but I'll tell you right now, there are ghosts in the room.
Ooh, so they've got my shield.
Let's see if the ghost can do a thing. That's a nope. That they botched.
Aw, okay, no worries.
Are you doing anything, Kem?
I'm gonna keep helping injured people.
Okay. It's Murdoc's turn then. He is down 2 dice because of his injuries. But he's still got some quintessence left. So he's gonna try to heal himself. He continues to sing these holy songs in a language you don't understand as his wounds begin to close. The blood is no longer flowing. 2 bits of lead fall from his shoulder and his side. Benedict, it's your turn. Oh, actually, Evelyn, I think I skipped you last round. No, because last round you knocked everyone out.
I knocked everyone out and then I jumped down. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
so
I'm aren't I at the top of the initiative?
you are after. You're after Benedict.
Okay.
You got 1 success on your initiative.
Mm.
So
I
Benedict,
punched the
it's your turn.
priest.
You continue punching the priest.
I continue punching the priest.
Did you blood buff?
I blood buff, actually.
You can do both.
Yeah, I'll blood buff first. For 2, 1 point on dexterity, 1 point on strength.
Mhm.
Then I punch the priest for real.
Good thing you blood buff.
Jesus.
You do manage to connect. Gonna try to get out of the way. He's down a guy. He does not get out of the way.
All right.
Good thing was down a die. Go ahead and roll your priest punching. That's 3 successes. He has armor. That is a complete failure. As you punch the priest.
No. I punch the armor.
No, he failed. So
Oh, he fails. Yes, I punch the priest.
you punch him square in the face and you break his nose.
Nice.
As he is once again wounded. There's actually a lot of blood in the room. How much blood are you all missing?
Oh shit.
How many
Oh,
days into
no.
the week is it?
This was like Monday. This was the start of the week. You're missing like 1 point from sleeping.
Yeah, that 1 point.
Okay.
I'm on 10 then.
I already fed, so I used my buff. I'm down 3.
I'm on 15 then. 14.
Oh,
I mean.
what? Why is everyone so fed? I'm on 9.
What are
Did you not?
eat?
Did you not feed last week on your herd?
I did, but
Did you not update the points?
I guess
You
I
only
didn't.
fed until you got to 9.
Well, you fed on 3 for 3. You fed a total. You drank a total of 9 blood last week.
And you'd only lost 7. I don't think you did anything that
Oh, it's
required you to
because
use
it's
blood.
because he healed one of his aggravated wounds.
Oh, yeah, right. I had to
Okay.
spend 5 for that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and you just spent 2 more.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So being that makes
Getting
sense.
thirsty. All right.
That's not half, so I'm not gonna see if you frenzy. Yet.
Nice. Yet.
Yet.
It's Evelyn's turn. As you punch a priest. And break his nose.
So, random question. Way back at the first session when we went to the La Sombra hideout, was there just the one gun?
There were 2.
There were 2? Okay, so I have a gun. I have a
You
pistol.
also have a crossbow.
I don't think I would have been carrying my crossbow around the ship to go and see the cook.
Fair. But you would be able to hide a pistol.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. So I will try the pistol. That's
Dex and
firearms and something?
Dex.
Firearms and dex, okay. So... Okay. Actually, I'll use as blood buff uses one blood per stat you
Yes.
buff, right?
Yep.
So I'll buff my dex. So my dex will be temporarily at 3.
Until the end of the scene.
Yep, and It is firearms. Okay, so that will be...
Oh,
pretty low.
that's a botch.
Damn.
I'm gonna roll the die of fate here. Odds or evens?
Odds.
That's a 4. The
Damn.
powder goes. It doesn't explode. It's the gun is jammed.
Okay. I'll just stay under cover.
Yep. It is now Kristoff's turn.
Is there any way that just it might be too late to even do that anyway. And given the stun, I don't think Christoph would have picked up on the fact that he's chanting every time. He's chanting something before he spells.
I mean, what's in a cult? See if you notice.
Let's see.
Nope.
Nope. Guess that's much. So, tried and true method. Sword.
Okay, go ahead and see if you can stab a priest. That's a yes, and he already spent his turn trying to dodge Benedict's fists. So, go ahead and roll me strength plus, I believe it's 2 for a sword. Yeah, sword strength plus 2.
If
That's
by any chance, does the sword specialization affect damage too?
It does. So that's 4 points of lethal damage. Specializing in a combat skill is busted, by the way. Especially for guns, honestly. So that's 4 points of lethal damage. Yeah, so Kristoff, you drop your two pistol, you drop the rifle and the pistol, draw your sword, actually wait, no, he has armor. He has armor. That is 2 successes, so he's not dead yet. But he is substantially fucked. Top of the initiative, Kimbertai.
I'll let the other people know. Stop him from chatting! That's how he used the spell! And I'll help the injured.
Actually, hold on. Evelyn, did you drop Shadow Play?
I did, yeah.
Both of your darkness abilities?
Yeah, I didn't want to keep the people choking. I didn't want them to die. I just wanted them to pass out.
Fair enough. Okay. Yeah, then it's Kimbertai's turn.
I tell the people the missing info about his spell, and then I'll drag the body out.
So you say that, and then, how is this going to happen? Well, first off, he doesn't see this coming, so he's not going to try to dodge. He's going to try, like, he can try to absorb with stamina. So you shout that, and then the butt of one of the guns from the ground that Kristoff was using swings up and smashes against his chest. The ghost seems to be trying to throw things at him.
Thank you, Ghost! You're the best!
It is Murdoc's turn. He is slumping over against a wall. He is chanting. He is beginning to intone a spell, and that is the end of his turn. Benedict, it's your turn.
You already know I punched the priest.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead and make your dex
Uppercut.
plus brawl.
Oh,
That connects. I'll tell you right now, he currently is so injured he cannot successfully dodge.
okay.
So go ahead and roll damage, your strength. And I will roll for his armor.
Oh,
That is one success. You got no successes.
man.
So you just punch him right in the chainmail.
Youch.
Evelyn, it's your turn.
Oh, he didn't injure him?
No, unfortunately not.
No, I have no success there.
Okay.
Just hit the armor.
He's kind of prone, right? Can I just like walk up to him and like point blank him in the face?
Well, you'd have to unjam the gun.
That takes a turn.
Yep. Then you'd have to load the gun.
Oh, okay. Are there any loaded guns just lying around?
At this point, yes, the one by Kemrutai.
Okay. Can I grab that? And then that would be 2 actions, right?
If you're okay with splitting your dice pool, you can take 2 actions in 1 round.
What does splitting the dice pool mean?
So you take the highest pool of dice you have, in this case, Dex plus firearms, and you split it in half for both of your actions. Picking up the gun requires no dice, so you'd be left with half of your dice pool for firing the gun. Anyone in this game can take more than 1 action on their turn. You just split your highest dice pool for it.
I guess I can try that. So, Dex
Which
and
is your lowest dice pool, but
firearms.
picking up a gun doesn't take half a dice pool, so.
So that would be 3. Okay.
Roll 3 damage dice.
Nice.
Is that just 3d10?
Yep. So, Evelyn, how does Father Merdoc die?
Oof.
I put the gun in his mouth and I pulled the trigger.
Oh my god.
So he looks up with malice in his eyes as the holy light that he is incanting and bringing forth into the world begins to flicker and fade, his face getting pale and sallow as you lift his head to see the rest of the way, barrel in his mouth, BAM! Blood spatters on the wall again behind him. His eyes go white as the light, both supernatural and otherwise, fades from his eyes, and he slumps to the ground dead.
Man, that was tragic.
Evelyn is gonna toss the gun toward one of the Marines and then like fall to her knees over the priest and start praying.
It's about this time you hear you no longer are having your sound your senses effectively drowned out by the chanting. You hear footsteps, and within like 10-15 seconds there are half a dozen more Marines in here, quickly followed by
Doctor!
the doctor and the captain and yet more Marines.
So we'll try to start acting like exhausted.
Doctor, over here! We have injured people!
The captain comes in first. The doctor runs over to the injured. Captain O'Neill steps forward into this frankly bloody mess, pistol in hand, cutlass in other hand. What the fuck happened here? I want an explanation. Why is the priest looking like a bloody crusader dead, and why is one of my men a corpse?
He went mad
started just shouting stuff about the Antichrist and just started stabbing people. Hell, this just I don't know.
Evelyn's still praying softly.
I'll help with helping the injured.
Merrimont, get the dead. Merrimont, you two, get the dead to the get your dead to the injured and the dead up here hospice. You lot. This might be your ship, but I'm going to find you to your quarters for the rest of the night until I can get a handle on what the hell happened here. You men, drag these all to the brig. He points to everyone who's just passed out. No one's going nowhere till I can figure out what the fuck happened here.
Were any of the Marines conscious when we came in?
When you came down, they were screaming, grabbing their ears, and blood was pouring out of them.
Okay, so probably weren't noticing the shadows.
No, they seemed a bit distracted.
A little bit. Evelyn will go to her room.
Mm-hmm.
Would my blood buff be gone when they arrive?
Should be the scene ended, right?
It's beginning to fade.
Oh, thank God.
Do any of you resist or put up a fuss?
No.
No, Evelyn's gonna go to her room.
No.
It's gonna
She's
continue
visibly
helping.
distraught.
Because I would do
escorted to
just
your rooms by armed guards. The passed out flock of Father Benedict are also dragged deeper into the ship to the brig. Some of them slowly coming to, dazed and confused. And through the night, each of you are visited by Captain O'Neill with 2 armed sailors. Asked to exit your room to speak in the hallway. As he interviews you on what you say happened. My question is, how honest are you going to be with Captain O'Neill?
For Evelyn's part, she will obviously omit vampire powers, but she will say that they heard gunshots and screaming, and they came into the hallway and found that Father Merdoc was attacking the Marines and had killed some. He killed one before their eyes, and they needed to protect their crew, and there was a gun on the ground, and she's genuinely very distraught by having killed him. So it's not going to be, if there is any deceit roll, it's not going to be like from nothing. But yeah, she'll explain that she had to shoot at him.
So, okay, I'm just going to say that, cool. Are all of you basically telling the same story, that he went crazy and started stabbing people, and that you just omit the fact that he was shooting lasers out of his mouth?
No.
And we're going to tell them about the lasers?
I don't know.
I mean,
How
the proof is in the stairs. Like, that thing was glass, no?
I mean, you could say he's a
something.
witch.
I guess we don't really have any reason to hide it.
Yeah, we could say he's a witch.
let's say, how much is my curse affecting me right now? How much is my big mouth affecting me right now?
That's on you.
Ooh.
If you can't decide, I guess do a kind of willpower roll or something. Some kind of... What would it be to resist?
Would you allow that?
If it's your clan bane.
No, it's not my clan bane. It's character bane.
What was that again? Because I know you have paranoia.
Yeah, I have paranoia.
What is it specifically that you're talking about?
Cursed.
Cursed?
in her
That's not
flaws.
gonna come in handy here.
Oh, okay, so I guess she will avoid it altogether. She just say like, "Oh,
Actually, just give me a
I
second.
was
I'm gonna read
helping."
that real fast.
Okay.
Flaws. Yeah, that's not coming into play here.
Okay, thank God. All right. So yeah, just gonna stick to not mentioning anything weird. She was helping Mr. Benoit chopping potato, and then she heard the gunshot, and then she went downstairs to check, and she didn't notice anything because she was too busy dragging people out of the area.
So you're all just gonna skip the bit where he was chanting in an unknown language, light was pouring from his eyes, and he was firing lasers.
Yes.
I mean,
I wouldn't mention the
People-
unknown.
people would have heard the chanting, so Evelyn might say that she thinks he might be a witch, might have been a witch.
Okay.
I also,
A warlock.
is that what they're called in this time? I think
Yeah,
male witches were
warlock
just
and
witches, weren't
witches.
they?
It
They're warlocks.
doesn't particularly matter.
Oh.
But I do also have dominate, so I could slip that in. Make them believe me.
Would you like to make the captain believe that Father Merdoc was a witch, supernaturally?
Yeah. That might be
Okay.
helpful. That one is. Well, I can. I don't know if I can make him believe that.
You can give him a. How many dots do you have in dominate?
2. I have command and mesmerize, so. But I don't know if I can do mesmerize subtly in front of the other 2. I can do command subtly. Well, I was just gonna be like, you must believe me. Stress believe.
So that's implanting like a command. Not. You could command them to believe you.
Yeah.
That you cannot implant into his mind that this was in fact a supernatural being.
No. I'm just trying to get them to believe that we were acting in self-defense and there's nothing more to it than that.
Mm-hmm. I'm reading Mesmerize right now. I don't think that applies to this situation.
Okay.
You could pull it off. All it requires is intense eye contact, which is something you could pull off, but I don't think it's completely relevant here. So
I think mesmerize would be too obvious, right, to the other 2?
no, it would just be a little odd how closely you were looking at each other. Because it'd be locking eyes and then not looking away at all for the entire duration of your sentence and conversation. There's nothing overtly supernatural about it other than that. You'd have to be looking for the signs.
Okay.
So,
yeah.
Chris, okay. One at a time, I would like to hear what you're trying to convince this man of. Christoph, what are you trying to tell him?
Sticking to the story that he just went crazy. Started. We heard the gunshot, ran in there. Basically saw him like stabbing a marine and 2 other marines in panic. Something weird was happening, and he was starting to like scream both in German and another language that was just unknown. And the German bit, because I would say that it was starting to scream stuff about the Antichrist.
Okay. Kimrutai, what are you trying to explain to him?
Oh, just that like she was just help cooking until she heard the gunshot. She followed the others to come check, and she was too busy dragging people out, so she didn't like pay attention.
Okay, Kristoff, you're going to be rolling a charisma plus expression. Kemrutai, your choice of charisma or manipulation plus expression, because you're not lying, but you're leaving out a lot.
Ooh.
Not living out the willpower.
Yeah, willpower, please.
Evelyn, you're trying to convince him that this motherfucker was a witch.
I mean, I'll just use the mesmerize and just, go with, like, it's not like I'm convinced he's a witch. It's just like he was chanting in German and some other unrecognizable language, and he was killing people, and he was...
Mesmerize doesn't really apply here.
Mesmerize doesn't apply?
Mesmerize
Okay.
is you're giving him a command.
No, that's command. Mesmerize is verbally implant a false thought or hypnotic suggestion.
Ah, right, okay. Well, the suggestion takes hold of the victim's subconscious. Cannot be forced to do anything. All of the system text is about telling them to do a thing, though. With this power, vampire verbally implant a false thought or hypnotic suggestion of subconscious mind. Free from distraction, require intense concentration, precise wording to be effective. The vampire may activate this imposed thought immediately or establish stimulus to trigger it later. Mesmerize allows for anything from simple to complex directives. It is not useful for planting illusions or false memories.
Not a false memory, it's just asking him to believe what I'm saying.
Okay,
but yeah,
so
if
your
it's
command is
not
to
applicable,
believe me.
yeah.
Okay. Go ahead and roll mesmerize then. If the command is believe me.
Okay.
Manipulation plus leadership targets current willpower is the DC.
His current willpower?
Yes.
Okay. I will also use a willpower point. Where is the thing? Yeah.
Oh. Wow.
Damn.
That's 4 successes.
Plus the willpower, so 5. Oh no, did I fail at all?
No, that's 4 successes. At 3 or 4
Yeah, I also
successes,
used a willpower, so.
That's 5.
Yeah.
At 5 successes or greater, they can plant nearly any sort of command. Well, so you told him what happened and that you think that Father Benedict was some sort of witch.
Yep.
Whatever. He believes you. Wholeheartedly.
Benedict's a witch too. Get him.
So
no,
he goes
he's
to
not.
these interviews and then he stops with you and looks at you seriously and sternly. Sister Patricia, I didn't believe in supernatural hoodoo or buggins until recently. And you're telling me this man generally shot beams of deathlight from his mouth?
I can show you where he damaged the ship.
No, there's something about your words. They ring true. Then why did Christoph and Evan and Kemrutai not leave something like that out? Do you think that
They don't have faith. They couldn't see. My faith protected me. He shot at me. By the grace of God, I survived.
So you're saying this was some sort of devilry?
I believe so.
What should we do about this? This is... Just looks
We need to
two
burn.
Marines who are just looking at him like, for real?
We need to give him a burial by fire. We need to put his body on a plank and, I don't know, set it alight in the sea.
Let's see if our carpenter could set something like that up.
I think he cursed those people that he said were sick, that they left his protection. He was talking about it. You can ask anyone who was at Mass. He was talking about how they left his protection and so they fell ill. I believe he may have cursed them.
You can see how this puts me in a sensitive spot, Miss Evelyn. Miss Sister Patricia.
I do. We can't let this be known. It must be taken care of quietly. There'll be a
Looks at the two
panic.
Marines. Not a word of this slips from your mouths. Or it's the lash. And when he says, or it's the lash, both of them just like, aye, Captain, aye, Captain.
We must clear the evidence, the damage to the ship, and dispose of his body. If it will be too obvious to have a fire, then perhaps we can weigh him down so that he can be as close to hell as we can send him.
You have plenty of chain and shot. Let's see, we'll take him.
That will do. Thank you, Captain. Oh, my God.
Right. So, because of that God dominate role, the captain goes about this business immediately. Benedict, you are left to sweat and wait for your appointment with the captain for the rest of the night.
No.
Yes. Love you, Captain.
In fact, the next day comes. The day will come and go, and when you rise again tomorrow, he still hasn't visited you.
DM, before the night pass, can I go check on the ghosts? Like, make sure nobody is impacted by like holy chanting or like turn to smitherin and such.
You may go ahead and spend a point of willpower to astrally project, and roll your dice and try not to botch on a 5 DC. You're fine. You
Yes,
exit your body and begin and you find the ghosts rather quickly. They're gathered
Yes,
around the
just-
spot of this man's death.
You just panically run to them, shaking them like, "Are you okay? Did anybody get impacted by that?"
Oh, here. Okay. But we have
Whew.
a dilemma.
Dilemma?
They gesture at this echo of Father Merdoc.
Oh no!
Oh shit!
He died suddenly and traumatically. And I don't actually no. He was very much a man of faith. I'm gonna roll the die of fate here to see if his sudden madness was enough to cause him to not pass over peacefully. Because otherwise, he would have been the type not to become a phantom, a ghost.
Spectre? Oh, okay.
Odds and evens.
Oh no! Odds!
You're lucky. I rolled a 5.
Whew.
Okay, yeah. So you're lucky. He did not become a wraith. He made his peace with God that he was going to purge this ship or die trying. So he did not, even though it was a traumatic, violent death, he didn't, and sudden one, he did not become a wraith. That would have been hilarious, though. They're just gathered around the spot, and they're just like, "We're lucky. That would have been a dilemma."
We are indeed. Ooh, thank you so much for your help. That was really scary. Whatever he did.
Fucked if we know, Miss Rutai. That was some spooky shit. A murmuring amongst the ghosts, just like, yeah, no, that was fucked up.
Yes.
This just goes over them.
Yeah. Oof. Well, I'll go. I have to deal with what comes tomorrow. Again, thank you. I'm glad you're all safe.
Yeah, they all nod. Apologize for not being able to do more.
No, you've done more than enough. You risk your well-being coming in this proximity and did that. Like, that's way more than I could ask for.
Yeah, they appreciate your candor and like.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yes, I'll let them go to where their whereabouts before I return.
Mm-hmm. So the next night passes. The captain makes apparently made an announcement in the morning that Father Merdoc had a psychotic episode and committed a murder after drugging several of his flock, and that after killing one of the Marines and somehow deafening two more with some sort of a homemade bomb, no doubt was stolen powder from the powder room, that he was put down by the Marines, and his body was thrown overboard in chains for the sea to take. You were all let out of your rooms to go about your days aboard the ship, and it's the strangest thing. Father Murdoc's flock don't seem to have any recollection of what happened. Just that Father Merdoc came in rambling and raving and had them all drink a special communion, and then they woke up intermittently, being dragged to the brig.
Lynn will try to comfort them and recruit them to her herd.
I'll update Lila.
I'll go check if his belongings were also thrown.
Everything that was on him got thrown overboard. You want to root around through his personal footlocker.
At this point, yeah.
You find a small amount of money, a well-worn Bible, several copies of obscure holy texts, and like a couple of changes of clothes. Nothing particularly fancy or worth the while in there. I mean, unless you're a fan of scripture and like treatises on various theological studies.
You know someone who is.
Exactly. So we'll carry those. Yeah, just carry the scriptures, especially if they're on a language that I just don't know. So,
Well, a lot of them are in Latin. A couple of them, like one or two, are in German. Several are like one or two are in Italian.
Hmm.
But the bulk of them are in Latin.
yeah, just pocket them for later to pass around to someone who might be interested in them.
Mm-hmm.
How are the sick people doing after a dose of?
Checking in on them. The worst of them seem to have gained some of their strength.
Yay!
Not totally, but they're able to get up and walk around again, or at the
Can
very
I
least, get out of the
can I
mechanics.
can I get some advice from, like, I don't know, the doctor about the best way to care for them?
You visit Dr. Mirabot?
Yeah.
You do. Well, let's play this out. You enter Dr. Marimont's office. He seems very tired. There are two. Well, there's one. There's one body underneath a sheet in his room. His smock is again spattered with human blood, and he lets you in, and he's smoking a pipe.
Doctor?
Something I can help you with.
Oh, just a moment of your time. I wanted to ask your advice on the best way to care for the sick.
The ill in the front of in the foredeck.
Yes.
Food, bed, rest, lots of clean water. Change their sheets and make sure that the bilious humors are extracted. Fresh air to get the humors out of the air. And get
That
any
help?
of the mucuses, not the effluvia. It's one of the humors. Away from them, as it has become congested and is the source of their illness. It's why they leak it so much.
Thank you. That was all I needed. Do you have what you need?
Mostly. I'd still like to examine your two friends. Though now I have the tinnitus of two sailors to deal with. It's bizarre. It's like they were working cannons for a month. All in one night.
She just kind of shakes her head and makes a sign of the cross. Such a terrible business. Well, I should leave you to your work, and I must attend the sick.
He nods.
Back to the sickies.
Okay. So now normally I move time forward here, but typically that takes us a little over a half hour to do. Just with bookkeeping and what have you. Um,
Layla?
would we like to call the session here, or would we like to find out how you achieve your sustenance for the week and then update the world state as it were? Would we like to do that
You
at the
wanted
start of
to
next week?
think Kim wanted to see Lila?
Oh wait, Kim, you wanted to talk to Lila?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, let's do that first.
Okay.
Same as before, you knock on the door, she checks several wars and symbols and bits of security, opens the door, and then lets you in.
Ooh. Layla.
I hear that chorister bastard flew his cuckoo's nest.
Yes, he's dead. So, I think you're safe now?
Safe-ish.
Hmm. Yeah, I just wanted to update you. And you're right. Like, we did stole the
the shalish, drop it in the soup pot, and people seems to be getting better. Thank you for that.
Oh, the son of a bitch was up to something with that.
Yeah, I didn't think it would be this bad. It's disheartening how it turned out, but yeah, one can only wish it would have been better.
His kind are the reason the Inquisition started. Don't mourn him.
All right. So yeah, I just want to update you. So at least you'll feel safer that he's gone now.
A fair sight margin better, yes. Though, I suppose you can see why those precautions are all there as well. She gestures to her door.
Yes. Yes, it is really understandable.
You and yours managed to kill him while he was wheeling around all that holy fervor.
Mm-hmm.
I don't got the same tricks he does. It's a good thing you and I have this deal, though. That's what's keeping me safe.
Mm. You're safe with us nonetheless. You can trust me on that.
Suppose you've earned that level of trust at least, yes? Bit more than that. It's just your friends the problem. I trust you, dearie. Far as one can trust a leech. Don't know your friends so well, though. So meaning you, no offense. All that's staying there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I understand your caution. Just know that they're good people.
I trust that you trust that.
So yeah, I'm gonna go now. I'm pretty much fit this week, so you can, I guess, take this week to rest.
Well, I'm still making medicines for those folk.
Ah, yes.
If you were smart as you seem, I'd have the Revelin girl continue handing out holy ministrations with that cup to everybody.
Ah, yes.
It was a good preventative measure. Well, the man who was handing them
Hmm.
up dead. Well, that preventing just stopped getting prevented.
Yeah, I'll talk to my friends about that.
See that you do, love. I'll be here
Okay.
making tinctures and feel-good remedies.
Hmm. Well, I'll bother you no more. Good night.
To you as well.
Gonna go talk to Evelyn. And pretty much bring the news that Evelyn, you're the next Father Merdoc now.
I don't know if I'm allowed to give communion. I don't think I am.
No one's here is gonna police that. Is
Can a nun give communion? I think only a priest can, right?
Um,
I mean, we could say it's like under desperate circumstances, but
I mean,
even then,
I'm not that versed in my own religion to know. Um,
what does Google say?
if you would like, you chose your flock, your herd, specifically out of religious folks. You could have another priest among them.
If you're a Catholic traditional ordinary minister of communion as a deacon. Yeah, I can just say one of them's a priest. Do I have any priests, or is it just...
I mean, most of your flock were probably not ordained priests, but religious individuals. If you would like, you could have had a priest amongst their numbers. That I'd say was reasonable for people going out on a mission.
Apparently Google says they can. They may only distribute communion depending on the country. In general, however, if available, the preference is given to priests to do this. Okay.
Well,
Mother Superior may give communion in such both cases. I'm not a Mother Superior, though. Under ordinary circumstances, only bishops, priests, deacons... Yeah, so these are extraordinary circumstances. I think it's fine.
Yeah. Also, technically, you are not a nun in the first place because you never took your vows.
I did, just after I became a vampire.
Ah, well. Okay then. If you could do it.
Sure. I'll also just keep dipping it in the soup so that everyone gets a dose, even the people that won't come to communion.
Mhm. Right. So, again, just looking at the time, we don't really have time left to do the next stage of the journey. So I'm just gonna mark down that uh upkeep at start session 11. Okay.
I do want to check on Mary before we wrap up, if possible.
Absolutely. You find her in her room. Not much was going. Yeah, you just find her in her room, sort of sitting there pondering. Come in.
Thank you. Close the door.
Oh, Miss Evelyn, I heard what happened. Terrible business that.
Yes, I'm not sure what set him off, but, well, what's done is done.
Hmm. Are you okay? I know the two of you spent some time together, and um, birds of a feather, priests in a frock and a
I must
flock.
say I'm disappointed. It's not often that I get to spend time with someone who is as dedicated as I, though I have my followers, I suppose. Perhaps Claudio is right. Perhaps I should decide upon some servants.
I mean, well, you would have the pick of the litter. Besides, when you get wherever we're going, surely they've got to have a deacon or a bishop or any kind of priest there you could talk to.
Yes, well, getting too close to very fervent men. I heard some of his thoughts. Cambridge, I read them. He was not a humble nor compassionate man.
Mm,
Rather power hungry, in fact, which, to be quite blunt, is the majority of my experience with men in the church. Perhaps I should make a convent, only women allowed.
I thought they were called nunneries.
Yes, nunnery, convent.
Mm, but it's a lovely idea. Look after girls who say they can't look after themselves. Lovely thought. teach them the right path, give them the right proper life. I think about what I'm going to do with myself.
How are your gentlemen friends?
Oh, that. Well, I was going to write an accent, my bad. So the issue with that is, I don't have to worry about one of them.
I see.
Yeah. I did notice something, though.
Hmm.
It's a bit of a problem. So, I tried feeding on some other people, and it's the weirdest thing, I couldn't.
You couldn't.
No, you're just gonna think I'm picky, but it's really not. I don't. The fellas, they tasted really good. Like really good. Like the best you've ever had, sort of thing. I mean, but so I tried having a little nibble of one of the lady folk around. Asked her about some womanly issues, saw if they had some cloths available, managed to get them in a separate room, and I'd take a little nibble. And oh, it was like pouring a chamber pot down my throat. I thought the rats were bad. The rats in
Well,
hindsight. Oh,
you may have acquired a taste for vampire blood.
vampire blood? No. But I drank on one of the boys again, and that tasted good.
Yes, because you're feeding them your blood.
Um,
Be very careful. Feeding on vampires is something that will get you hunted.
I don't want to feed on vampires. It sounds like a terrible idea. Sounds like a terrible idea, considering. I mean, my only friends are vampires, and I don't really want to hurt you all.
Not ideal, no. Perhaps you should wean yourself off of it. Learn to appreciate human blood again.
Well, that's the thing. That's the thing, isn't it? That I fed on another one of the sailors, and they tasted fine, and they weren't one of the ones that I gave my blood to.
Interesting. Who was it that you fed on that tasted awful?
Well, there was this. I think he's married to one of the other gentlemen. Don't come on the crossing. And then, I did manage to get a nibble of the doctor. He tasted disgusting, wretched. I managed to get a bite of a couple of the passengers. Just regular working folk. Nasty, awful. Just to say, those the Marines went down good. Oh, not like that though. I'm
What?
a good Christian woman, thank you.
Evelyn just stares at her blankly, unawares. She doesn't know what she means at all.
Oh, darling, you're so wise, but you're so innocent.
So it's not that they're men. It's not that they're ghouls.
I think that it's they know how to throw a punch. Or at least taken a few.
Have I ever noticed any difference between physically capable people and frail people? Taste-wise?
So, taste-wise, everyone has their own unique bouquet. Groups of people tend to fall into different categories. You fed on priests. You mostly fed on priests and beggars, and they taste very different. You've also found that the blood of those who are more physically fit and active and healthy tastes better, and you can typically get more nutrition out of it.
Ah.
Um, you're allowed to roll, considering you know what Mary's clan is due to your rituals. You were allowed to roll me a intelligence plus occult.
Okay.
And real fast, I'm just checking some stuff here on the book real fast. What'd you get?
38. 7563269.
Okay, I heard several sixes and sevens.
Yeah.
So let me just double check here.
2 6s, a 7, and a 9. No ones.
Okay. They are a. Oh, they're a Ventru. You've heard of this Bane amongst the Ventru before. They're clan Bane. They have refined tastes.
Ah.
Typically, they find one specific type of mortal, and that's the only kind they can stomach from that point on.
Hmm.
It seems to you that Mary prefers the flavor of those who have either engaged in or are capable of physical violence. Soldiers, enforcers, that sort of thing.
Ah, I see. Well, I shan't be concerned for you feeding off my nuns if I found a nunnery.
Can I only
It
feed off
seems
of
you've
men?
No, you've developed a taste for physically capable, strong fighters. Men capable of powerful acts of physique. Maybe
So
women too.
it's like
But
Christophe and Francois and
yes, I assume that would
Benedict.
taste fine to you. It's a quirk of your clan.
Huh. Does your clan have a quirk like that?
Nothing quite like that.
Huh. Well, that's bloody inconvenient. Now I gotta make. So I gotta make sure everyone I nibble on can throw a good punch.
Well, unless you wish to endure the discomfort of what you said you've experienced when you tried others, yes.
Ooh. I feel like I could keep down another pacifist. I'm a, mm. Mm. Maybe that's something I could do when we get to the colonies.
Hmm?
Not like find men and make sure they beat people up. Like, I don't know, work with a local militia. Maybe we could help Benedict set up some sort of a boxing thing.
Yes, that would attract Are many men of that type?
I'm not sure if I like boxing.
Well, you don't really need feign interest.
Oh, but if you're going to be doing something forever, you should might as well do something interesting.
You need not do it forever. I would also caution allowing Benedict or Kimbertai to know too much about your movements when we land.
Right. The trusting thing.
They have a sire who is after them and has some ability to view what they're doing,
Oh.
to project herself and her consciousness.
Well, that's not very good.
No, not at all.
I was talking to Claudio about the whole reason why you left. Your masters sound terrifying.
Yes, I would caution to avoid them wherever possible.
But I think the other side of the world is a pretty good place to be then.
Yes. Let us hope it's far enough. Well, I'm glad that you are doing relatively well. You know where to find me should you have need.
I think I know what I'm going to do.
Yes?
She straightens over her postures, put her hands on her knees, and looks at you and says, I'm going to become I'm going to set up a bailiff. Town guard, whole thing.
Well, we shall see if there's any existing such services, but that should not be too difficult.
You're right, that would make things a lot easier if it was already there.
We shall see.